Talk. Welcome, one and all. We're about to go live on the air in about 12 minutes or so. Let's see here. Actually, 13 and a half minutes. 13 and a half minutes, and we'll be live on the air. Welcome, everyone. And today's a big day. There's so much news happening today. I'm going to start with Bongino, but we've got Trump's call with Putin today, which has them freaked out. We've got the JFK files. There's a lot happening. I mean, there's just no getting around it. There is a lot happening. And I'm going to cover as much of it as I can. And of course, take your calls. I'm still setting up, guys, so bear with me. There are no slow news days with Trump. That's just the way it is. No slow news days. And of course, we're going to talk about Israel and what they're doing right now. It is freezing in Florida. It is freezing in Florida. Just doing a little mic check. It's like 51 degrees when I went out this morning, which is as cold gets in Florida. I'm here to tell you. We do not like that weather, that kind of weather in Florida. But I'm gonna lead with Bongino is on the job now and what that means. And we just have so much to cover. It's just one of those days. I'm just gonna go with it. Not much planning today because there's so many stories I got to cover. I just know what I'm going to start with. The other ones I'm going to get to as I can. This is what we get. 51 degrees is freezing by Florida standards. I was wearing the closest thing I have to a winter coat today when I just left to get that coffee. I had the heat on in the car, the steering wheel heater on, the seat heater on. It's one of those days. But now, see, we're at a point where I'm going to open with Bongino. We have everyone in place now. So the swamp draining has to begin. This is it. It's got to start now. So that's where we're starting. Indeed. Welcome. If you're new, my name is Brian. This is where manga comes to talk. If you're watching on this stream with the green background, you can hear me and the callers perfectly fine. But the audio sound bites and the video I play, you have to go to my other stream to see that. And I will start that one right before we go live, which is in about 7 minutes. 6 minutes. Nope, 7. 33. Oh my goodness. I would not have. It's hard to get out and about with weather like this in Florida. I got a DM from someone who wants to give me $50,000. Listen to that. I got a DM on X. Congratulations. This is the person's profile. Let me just read their profile first, then I'll read the message they sent. I can't get their profile to open. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Where's their profile? Okay, this is their profile, okay? I'm a lottery winner of $750 million. I'm giving out $50,000 to my first 2,000 luckily selected friends just to support them. And they sent me a DM. How are you doing? They give me their name. They're from the United States. Congratulations. I have selected you amongst one of the people receiving $50,000. Would you like to get yours now? So I wrote them back to see if it was a bot. Okay, so they wrote, congratulations. This is a DM I got. I have selected you amongst one of the people receiving $50,000. Would you like to get yours now? So I messaged back. This was just right before I started this. I said, who wouldn't say yes to that? Because I wanted to see if it was a bot, right? So I gave it not a typical response. Who wouldn't say yes to that? So I got a response. A lot do reject due to the fact that they have enough. But due to the fact they spelled do, D-O, which is the wrong do, we are targeted on creating a balance in the society. That doesn't sound like someone from the United States. A balance in the society. Things get hard day by day, so we make a difference with what we could offer. Where are you from? I didn't respond. They want to know, where am I from? Oh my goodness. Now, let me ask you something. How does a scam like that work? Right? Yeah, the astronauts too. Yeah. How does a scam like that work? How do they scam me? What's the next step? I could take that $50,000 and go buy a new Tesla. What would you do? I haven't gotten a message like that in years online. Used to get all those emails, right? The barristers from Africa, where you're the sole survivor. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, all right? See my pants falling down because of all this weight I've lost. Amazing. I had my Apple Watch. I had to go one hole smaller this morning. It was falling off my wrist. It's crazy. Yes, happy MAGA morning. We'll be live in 5 minutes on the radio. I'll start the other stream when we get closer to going live. What do they do? I guess I would imagine what's next is the my blood. You know, I haven't taken my blood pressure. I have not taken it further because they ask me where I'm from. I don't want to tell them where I'm from. I don't want to give out any information. Oh, $100 for the shipping? Pretty good deal. $100 for $50,000. Or you give the bank account information. What do they do with that? I don't know. I don't know how scammers operate. I do get contacted by scammers, but I haven't gotten the windfall of cash scam contact in a while. You know, I've gotten the regular con jobs that people get. You know, Yeah, I have not. I've not taken my blood pressure. My blood pressure is a little tricky because I drink so much coffee. I've given up giving up coffee. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, this is a good one. Dark MAGA. The countdown to the cruise has begun. A week from Sunday. I thought we were leaving on Saturday. I'm glad it's Sunday because then I got Saturday to prepare. 3 minutes and we'll be live. Who isn't a fan of Elon Musk? Right now, he is staging the first rescue in the history of the space program. That's pretty amazing. I am MAGA. That's right. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'm a radio talk show host, YouTuber, and podcaster. Going to be live in about 2.5 minutes on the radio. And you're welcome to call in. Why would you not be MAGA? Why would you must not be American? Why would an American not be MAGA? You can see the mental illness on the left, defacing and vandalizing all these Teslas. Mm-hmm. Okay. 1.5 minutes. I'm going to start the other feed now. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. We got a lot of stories to cover today. There is an overload of news. I'm going to start with Dan Bongino since he's on the job now. He was sworn in as Deputy FBI Director. But Israel's making their move in Gaza. JFK files released. The Putin phone call with the president today. There's so much to cover, and we're going to cover as much as we can and take your calls. If you're watching live, you can call in. The toll-free number is pinned in the chat. All right, we've got 25 seconds until we go live. So, and if you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, make sure you like and share. All right, if you don't mind. Here we go. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It is ice cold in sunny South Florida, 51 degrees. Oh, my goodness. It's cold, but that's okay. We got a lot of hot news today. Yeah, today we are on News Overload, and I'm going to cover as many of the stories as we can possibly get to on the program. I'm going to start, though, with Dan Bongino. This is very, very important, especially for the long-term preservation of the United States. You know, Dan Bongino was sworn in yesterday as Deputy Director of the FBI. So now we have our entire team in place. The entire Trump team's in place right now. Not just at the Justice Department, where we've got the dynamic trio of Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, but we've got the Trump staff is in place in all the government agencies. Now, with Dan Bongino being sworn in yesterday, today is his first regular day at work. This is it. You know, the swamp draining that we've needed to be done and the justice to the lawfare criminals that the American people elected Trump to do and end, this is the time now. And Dan Bongino has a lot of expectations on him and Kash Patel. It's all on them. Not so much Pam Bondi, but Kash Patel and Dan Bongino have spent the last 4 years, really longer, but the last 4 years of the Biden regime being very vocal on the radio, on podcast, online, talking about the lawfare, the judges, the criminal justice department, and how these people have got to be brought to justice. So now the American people expect some results, and I'll tell you, I don't think MAGA, because I know our patient. This president-elect period we have felt like 2 years, okay? And now we finally got Bongino on the job. This is what we're waiting for. So they've got to go out and make a high-profile something somewhere. There needs to be a major arrest. And I know they have to do investigations and interview people, but they know where the crooks are. They know where the bank robbers are. They know where the lawfare people are. They know where the bad guys are. There needs to be a high-profile indictment of someone. And where they start, well, that's up to them. But I would imagine that most MAGA people, which would include me, are not only are we impatient because we've been waiting for so long and suffering for so long, like our president, we expect there is a very high expectation. And I don't think there's ever been, at least not in the conservative realm, I don't think there's ever been an expectation for anyone in government to do much of anything, except maybe a president. When I'm talking about our secretaries or attorney generals or FBI directors and deputy directors, there's never been an expectation from the voters for them to do much of anything in the past. This is the first time. And when you've been going around giving interviews and hosting a radio show for years saying the lawfare is this, the lawfare is that, the Justice Department and the FBI have been doing all of this wrong, we need something done, and we need it quick, because it really seems like 4 years since Trump won his second term, doesn't it? It does to me. And we've all been patient waiting for Bongino to be in place. So yesterday he was sworn in, and he did his little tour, and he's got to get settled in and everything. He's got to get his passwords, got to get his office, got to get his badge, got to get his handcuffs, got to do all that. So today's the first regular day at work. And now I know that my expectation with Dan Bongino is going to be at the FBI what Tom Homan is for ICE, for Border Patrol, right? And that's a front man that's leading teams, arresting people and bringing them to justice. And I don't think I'm the only one with that expectation. And, it's a big job they got. And I know we don't want to do lawfare. We want them to go by the letter of the law so that these arrests will lead to convictions that stick. But it's got to be done. It's got to be quick, because if we go too long without an arrest or at least a major indictment from someone whose name is familiar to us, not some underling that we've never heard of, if we don't get something soon, I think MAGA world will lose patience with Bongino and Kash Patel pretty quick. A lot of people are already losing patience with Pam Bondi, which I don't think they should. Pam Bondi is a strong Trump supporter. And, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino are close personal friends. They're all Florida people. They've spent a lot of time these last couple of years in Mar-a-Lago and in the same social circles. So it's not just that they're a team that are on the exact same page on everything that we're concerned about. They're tight friends and can work together. And they've been sitting around the last few years having conversations about, well, if you were the Attorney General and I was the FBI director, this is who we would arrest, this is what we would do. Now they got the job. So now that they got the job, they gotta deliver, and they gotta deliver quick. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit. I mean, the first thing I would do is I would raid and see. You want to do something high profile. So you want to do you've got to collect evidence and interview people. You just can't go out and arrest people and then, look for a crime. That's what the lawfare people do. So when you're talking about low-hanging fruit so we can get something quick, I would have several things going on at once. First, I would raid the office of Judge Mershann's daughter's Democrat fundraising operation and seize all their records and accounting and bring them both in for questioning separately. At the same time, I would haul in Fannie Willis and her boy toy gigolo boyfriend separately and bring them in for questioning. And I'd come back pretty quick with some indictments or maybe arrest on the spot. Who knows? I mean, those are probably two of the lowest hanging fruit you could go after so that we saw they were doing something. And the only reason that I can imagine that Dan Bongino was picked for this job, he is the deputy director of the FBI, and he is the number 2 guy at the FBI, is to be like Tom Homan and go around and kick doors in. And that's it. So we expect doors to be kicked in by Dan Bongino. I expect him to come to the Miami office of the FBI and fire everyone who was involved with the break-in and home invasion at Mar-a-Lago. These are the kind of things that MAGA people expect, and we've been waiting too long. So if they don't do something quick, people are going to lose patience with them. They really are. That's now I could be wrong about that, but that's how I view it. Your thoughts are certainly welcome at 1-888-465-2631. Now, this is MSNBC over the weekend talking about Bongino coming in. Yes, thank you. You never hear them refer to, left-wing people. It's always right-wing radio host, right-wing podcaster, right-wing commentator. I never hear left-wing comedian, left-wing actress, left-wing host of The View. You never hear that, do you? Really? Disinformation. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Now, what I would like to see, what I'd like to discover is because, that Pam Bondi has, and Kash Patel have had some grand juries going on. Grand juries are secret unless they leak out. So it would be nice if we got some grand jury indictments right quick. And it's very possible that these last few weeks, Pam Bondi has had grand juries looking over some evidence and indictments against people. And now that we got Dan Bongino on, get your handcuffs, get your badge, take a team, and go kick in some doors and arrest some people to get indicted. You know, we have a short 4 years, less than 4 years now, right? Because we're a couple months into this second term of the president, and I am itching for these lawfare criminals to be brought to justice. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number is toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Okay, if you're on hold, hang in there, guys. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome from the Philippines. Welcome, welcome. We'll be back in 2 minutes live on the air. So I may take a call or two, and then I'm going to start getting into some of the new stuff. But that's, I mean, what are your, what are your expectations of Bongino, Cash Patel, and Bondi now? I mean, how long until your patience? I would like to see an arrest today, tell you the truth, of someone, wouldn't you? I'd like to see a major arrest of someone today in perp walk. I just don't have, I can't take any more waiting, right? Look at how they harassed our president. Well, Hillary's not going to get arrested, guys. We got to be realistic. They don't have shackles big enough for her ankles, so she'll never get arrested because of that. 1 minute. Why would you deport Elon Musk? He's the greatest. He's the greatest. Less than a minute. Yeah, if you'd like to call in, if you're watching live, you can. The number is pinned in the live chat. "30 seconds. We'll be back." Why would you give up? Give up on what, Salty Warrior? Welcome back, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. It is a very chilly Tuesday morning, March 18th. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You know, I want to see Andrew Weissman. I want to see Strzok,
Yeah.
I want to see...
Strzok would be a good one. That'd be a good one. Strzok would be a good one, yeah.
Talk to Radcliffe and get this honeypot FBI agent that's been hiding at the CIA.
That's right.
Go after her.
Yes, that infiltrated the Trump campaign in 2015. Yeah, that's a good one.
And heck, I know he's been long since gone, but Jim Comey for trying to...
Oh, Comey. Now that's a great one. That's a good one, Mike. Thanks for the call. Yeah, would you guys? What about Comey? Definitely Comey. Yeah, let's just keep our fingers crossed that Pam Bondi has had some um, grand juries impaneled in the last few weeks, so that they're not starting from zero yesterday or today. That things are already being processed. Let's just hope that's the case. That they're not that they weren't waiting to start until Dan Bongino got there, because they know who the bad guys are. They know who they have to get the cases against. They know who they have to question. They know who has to be arrested. It's not like there's crimes out there and they don't know who the guilty parties are. The crimes are well known and the criminals are well known. So that cuts down a lot of time. But what is your attention span on this? Mine's very short. I mean, I'm wanting action yesterday, all right? I would like to have seen Bongino get sworn in. They give him his badge and he goes and arrests someone. That's what I'd like to see. He could take little DJ with him. Is DJ an honorary FBI agent or just Secret Service? He's still a federal agent. He can go with Dan Bongino. Wouldn't that be nice if Dan Bongino took little DJ with him? That would be awesome. That would be an experience that he would remember. All right, our number 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, it's going to be one of those days, guys. All right, once, twice. All right, you're out. Oh, my goodness. Now, I do want to, before we go back to the phones, if you're on hold, hang in there. Now, today, President Trump is going to have his phone call with Putin. I wonder who's calling who. You know, a lot of these guys, sometimes there can be a power move. Like the one in the power position receives the call, doesn't make it. Who do you think is going to call who? But the formerly anti-war left, give peace a chance, who are now endless war and total war and never end wars, they're in a panic. And they're in a this is what's really twisted. I want to play a little clip here from MSNBC's Nicole Wallace talking to some liberal jerk yesterday. And you know, here's the thing. There are people, both military and civilians, who are dying in large numbers in this war. According to President Trump, President Trump has told us many times that the death toll in Ukraine is incredibly high. Incredibly high. And these leftists in the United States are perfectly comfortable allowing people to continue to die. Their biggest fear is not Putin, but it's that Trump is going to get credit for ending the war. And I was listening to Fox early this morning. They had someone on who, I did not know this. I thought I knew a lot about Teddy Roosevelt, but Teddy Roosevelt brokered the peace deal between Japan and Russia when they had a very short war during his time, and that Teddy Roosevelt received the Nobel Peace Prize for ending the Russian-Japanese war and brokering it so brilliantly. So they're in a panic that Trump is going to be getting just positive press coverage that he ended a war, and they're willing to let people die just so Trump doesn't get a good headline. These Trump derangement syndrome sufferers are psycho. So this is Nicole Wallace on MSNBC yesterday.
Tell us what's on your mind first, and then the Ukrainians as we head into tomorrow.
Well, first of all, I think the way you framed what might happen tomorrow is very important. Because tomorrow, if somehow Putin agrees to a ceasefire, and we don't know if he will, but I would not be surprised if he does, President Trump is going to say, I ended the war. And that's going to be
That's right. Oh, it's not. It's not the right way to think about it, that Trump ended it. Okay. What is the right way, MSNBC?
ceasefire is being brought about because President Trump and his team have coerced the Ukrainians to do so by cutting military assistance, cutting intelligence assistance, and they've given Vladimir Putin, so far, everything he's wanted.
Without giving an example of what they've given Putin, that's everything he wanted. Oh, see, can't you hear it? Yeah, you coerce people into peace treaties. That's how it always happens. Typically with the enemy, if you have total war, you demand unconditional surrender like in the Second World War, but there has not been any unconditional surrendering since 1945 with the Japanese and the Germans, okay? So you're not going to get that. You're not even close to getting that. It's never going to happen. And you can hear the panic, just that President Trump and the news cycle is so fast these days, and the attention span of people is so short that even ending the war, although Trump will get all the headlines, by the next day it'll be gone and they'll be on to two more things. But the idea that for a few hours, President Trump will be receiving positive headlines for having ended the war between Russia and Ukraine, that's just too much for them to bear. And those of you in Ukraine who are fighting, risking your lives, and those of you who may lose your lives, MSNBC believe that your sacrifice is worthy because your sacrifice will prevent President Trump from having 24 hours of positive news. And that positive news for Trump is the greatest threat to our democracy. That's really what they're saying. These are some twisted people, man. Now, I want to tell you this, that it's 51 degrees. Oh, man. And we knew it was going to be cold tonight, or last night. So my wife and I, we made the bed with the MyPillow flannel sheets. Oh, man. Mike Lindell uses that Giza cotton. It's the finest cotton in the world for his Giza sheets, both the regular and the flannel. And it's the finest cotton in the world. And they really should be called the Goldilocks sheets. Because no matter what the temperature is, Mike Lindell's sheets made with 100% Giza cotton, and remember, Mike Lindell says there's a lot of people that advertise selling Giza sheets, but they're only like 10% Giza cotton. The MyPillow Giza cotton sheets are 100% Giza cotton. And whether you're using the regular or the flannel, those sheets with that fine Giza cotton that Mike Lindell uses keeps your body the perfect temperature. During cold nights like we just had last night, you are warm and toasty and cool. And I didn't know how cold it was till I got out of bed. Okay? And during the summer, you're cool and comfortable. It's almost like you've got air conditioning in your bed during the summer. I don't know what it is about Mike Lindell's 100% Giza cotton sheets, but they keep you the perfect temperature no matter what the temperature is outside. And you sleep like Goldilocks. And there's huge discounts on those sheets. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. There's free shipping offers, and you can use our promo code on all the specials at MyPillow.com. Call us on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back. Hey guys, and just to show you the Giza Dream Sheets, $40 off in all sizes with our promo code Kane at checkout. $40 off. And look at these, all these new colors they have. And we also have the Percal sheets in our guest room. Those are very good too. And the Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, they are just beautiful and spectacular. We got the pillowcases, we got everything. So $40 off with our promo code Kane at checkout in all sizes. Oh my goodness. We have queen size bed. But they come in every mattress size there is with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Yeah, I heard from Mike Lindell just yesterday. He and his assistant reached out to me. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh, yeah, Mike Lindell's awesome. I was surprised to hear from him yesterday. It was out of the blue. Unexpected. You know, 15 boxes. We put up with a lot of troll stuff, but you can't criticize our sponsors. They support the program, and you can't criticize our sponsors. That's really one of the, you know, one of the restrictions. They gotta have some rules. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back in 3 minutes. But this is our bottom of the hour break on the radio. Oh my goodness, yeah. Remember, he was raided by the FBI. A great American inventor. I call him the Thomas Edison of sleep. Oh yeah, his facilities in Minnesota. And through all of this harassment and canceling, he's not laid off any of his workers. He's awesome. If you're on hold, hang in there. Hey, hold on. I forgot to put them on hold. All right, 40 seconds. We'll be back, guys. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. By the way, the Giza Dream Sheets, all sizes, $40 off with our promo code Kane at checkout. I checked the special during the break. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
I can. What's on your mind?
Hey, I was just watching your live for a little bit, and just have a question. Is there anything you can criticize Trump so far?
No.
At this point?
No. What should I criticize him
There's
for?
nothing.
President Trump? No.
Even if I like a lot of people, there's always something to criticize.
Well, what should I be
you're
critical
like-
of? Give me an example of something President Trump has done in his second term that you think is worthy of criticism.
Okay, well, like for example, like you mentioned that the left is really, really scared of him or nervous of him winning a Nobel Peace Prize, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was just reading the news. He's doing bombing campaigns, so I don't see how.
Do you know the Nobel Peace Prize? Do you know how it got its name?
How?
Where'd you go to school?
I'm asking you how. You can tell me.
I mean, they used to teach us this in public school in the United States. Are you an American?
Yes, I am. So
Okay,
Nobel
invented something. Does that ring a bell?
Okay.
Nobel, that they named the Peace Prize after. Do you know what he invented?
I could take a few guesses, but you can go
What?
ahead and
What do
tell
you
me
think?
now.
What do you think? Nobel, he invented something. What do you think he invented? Peace Prize named after him.
I don't know. From electricity?
No, not electricity. Electricity wasn't invented, it was discovered. Dynamite. Dynamite, which at the time was like the biggest explosive device known to man. So the inventor of dynamite, which is still used as an explosive, is who they named the Peace Prize after. So you said Trump shouldn't get the Peace Prize because he's on a bombing campaign? Well, maybe you got to name the Peace Prize after, yeah.
So you're saying a Nobel Peace Prize is based off explosives?
I'm saying that Nobel, who they named the Peace Prize after, was the inventor of dynamite. You said Trump shouldn't qualify for the Peace Prize because he's got a bombing campaign going on now against Iran. So I was just pointing out that was what you said. So I was just pointing out that the Peace Prize was named after the guy that invented the most destructive explosive device of his time, dynamite.
Well, I was going to say thank you for explaining that to me. I learned something new.
But what should I be You said I should criticize Trump. What should I criticize Trump for?
I mean, just something. It's just like
just to be critical.
Just to get a perspective. No, I'm generally watching you to get a perspective. But when people are so biased that they can't even like criticize their own.
Well, when I'm biased, I am biased towards the cause of America. America first. Americans first. That's
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
So what has Trump done in his second term that I should criticize? What has he done that's wrong?
People don't think the president's words are powerful. So like when he says things like what's that Jewish senator?
Jewish?
Senator?
The Jewish? Did you say Jewish?
Jewish. Sorry, Jewish.
Jewish.
Senator I think he might be pro-Palestinian. I'm not sure.
Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer.
Yes, exactly. Yes, he goes ahead and says he's not Jewish. He's Palestinian, as if it's an insult.
Yes.
To me, I don't think a president should be saying things like that.
Oh.
I think it's pretty.
So when you have, I mean, you're aware that people can become traitors to their own people, right? Traitors and collaborators.
So you think he's a traitor?
Chuck Schumer is a traitor to the Jewish people, a traitor to Israel, yeah, and a collaborator with the enemy of the Jews.
So he's not collaborating with them.
Absolutely.
He is trying to. How is preventing Israel? Pretty much carpet bombing these people. He's just trying to prevent people from dying. He's not
Israel.
Trying to say Hamas is good people. He never said that.
Hamas has one goal. Do you know what their goal is? The one goal of Hamas.
Destroy Israel. Yeah.
No, to destroy Israel and kill all the Jews, finish the Holocaust. That's their goal. It's Iran. So if you are a Jew and you are sympathetic to those who, by your own admission, want to wipe out Israel and destroy Israel, that means you are a traitor and a collaborator. And when he says, he's obviously, Schumer is Jewish. His mother's a Jew. He's a Jew. But President Trump was figuratively speaking that he's a Palestinian because he's supporting their side of the argument.
So do you think Israel's doing anything wrong. They're 100% fine. They're innocent from everything.
The only thing Israel's done wrong is be too patient with the Palestinians.
My God.
Well,
Okay,
what do you
I
think
see
they
where
should
you're
do?
coming
Israel was invaded by Muslim invaders who raped and murdered women, men, children, kidnapped people, and are currently holding hostages.
Of course, there's no argument of that.
So what do you think Israel's doing wrong?
The fact that I think I saw a statistic somewhere. I think they killed 1% of the whole Gaza population.
Maybe.
I mean, you don't see nothing wrong with that.
Well, they told everyone. They told everyone in Gaza to get out before they started bombing. I mean, if you like if you're in a city, like I'm in Florida, right? If I got word that my city here in Florida was going to be bombed in a week, and I got a week to get out, I didn't leave, and I got killed, I think that would be my fault, wouldn't it?
Okay, so you have no sympathy for the Gazans at all?
No. Nope.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, do you hate
I don't hate.
Do you hate Arabs?
No, I don't hate. Hold on one. But I'll tell you this.
It, man, because
yeah,
there is countless of videos online of
what?
Of blatant killings of innocent people. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not sympathizing with Hamas. That they need to go, they need to die. I get it. But if you cannot see what Israel's doing, then
well, I could see it. But what do you see them doing? I see them defending. Why are they? Why is Israel bombing Gaza this morning? Why do you think?
This morning?
Yeah, there's bombing going on.
Because they're not releasing the hostages. I'm guessing.
Correct. And they've been given They've been given months of warnings from President Trump to release the hostages, and they haven't.
So, do you see any irony of today? I think they said they killed 500 people in 5 hours, which is a ridiculous number.
I don't know that that's true. I mean, I don't know that that's true. That's an Iranian number. I don't trust the Iranians.
Okay. So, may I ask you this? So, you're saying all this is justified because of October 7th, right? Is
correct. Yeah.
Okay, so what if I showed you a video before, a month before October 7th, of Israel shooting a missile at an apartment building full of families before October 7th?
Well, I don't believe that happened. But even if, it did, I'm sure you could show me a video.
Clear, not blurry, it's clear.
But how does that justify the rape and murder of girls at a music festival?
I'm not justifying it. No, I'm just letting you know.
Then why even reference it?
Israel's been doing this.
I mean, who would?
No, I'm letting you know Israel has had bad intentions.
What about who's
October 7th? It gave them the green
light. What about was it appropriate for America to respond after 9/11 and invade Afghanistan?
I think everyone agrees. Well, Afghanistan, okay, that's debatable. I can almost agree with you with that. But Iraq, I have to.
I didn't ask you about Iraq. I'm talking about Afghanistan.
Okay. That was a mess, and that didn't. I wouldn't consider that a win.
Really?
That wasn't.
I didn't see Al Qaeda hasn't knocked down any buildings since then.
Well, the Taliban still controls the
Well, that's because we had this senile old coot Joe Biden who's on the take who gave it to him. Okay? Yeah, so that's wrong, but that was Biden, not Trump. See, the reason I ask you about 9/11, Israel's a small country with a small population. And the number of people that were killed on October 7th would equal 30, if we lost 30,000 on 9/11. You understand? So imagine we lost 3,000 on 9/11. If we would have lost 30,000, think about that. Listen, I got to run for our break, but thanks for the call. You're a good caller, all right? Okay, take care. It's good to hear from Yeah, he's laughing. No, he's a good caller. Brought up some interesting things to discuss. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go back to the phones after the break, okay? We got just over a minute, and we'll be back. Well, that was a good call. But, you know, welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already sub, please like and share the video on your socials if you don't mind. I'd appreciate it. You don't learn anything in public schools anymore. That's why Trump had to shut down the Department of Education. All right, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. That was a great call with that uneducated young man. That's what happens in the school system today. See, that call illustrates why President Trump shut down the Department of Education, because they don't educate anymore. They just indoctrinate in the public schools through the Department of Education all this liberal stuff. And the conversation that we had is basic things that we used to learn in elementary school. Civics and social studies that they just don't teach anymore. All they teach about is critical race theory and stuff like that. Okay, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, Mr. Wellington, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, that last caller was a little misled on everything. That supposed bombing at a hospital was actually proved to be like some kind of projectile that went wrong and landed in Gaza instead of Israel. So he needs to get his facts right, whether it was a missile or a car bomb, I can't remember, but it was some kind of bomb that went off in the parking lot. And it was
they said it was a hospital, the Palestinian. I remember that story.
It was a hospital. Yeah, it was a hospital, and I think it was a missile they shot off that was. It was a
Palestinian. If I remember correctly, it was a Palestinian rocket.
Correct. And that's why, I mean, some of these people that just listen to one thing once and don't do their homework, that's how they get misled and down these rabbit holes of how bad Trump really is and how terrible Israel is. But, not to, make any excuse for anybody's wars or anything else like that, but, the apparent problem that we're having here is that people don't realize is that conservatism is one way only, and it's to the right way, the right way of doing things, the proper way. And these leftists, their only way of doing things is lying to us. And Schumer himself hates America as well. So
yeah, he's a collaborator. He's a collaborator.
Right. He's a hater of America as well. So you have people that really have no justified love for any land. They operate outside land. You know what I mean? That's why we call them globalists and the deep state. He doesn't realize that he's part of the normie crowd that needs to wake up. And
Chuck Schumer, who's done nothing but work for the government since he left school, is worth over $80 million. How does a guy that works for government his whole life amass a fortune of $80 million? Do you know how that's even possible?
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, the next 3 years of dealing with these people waking up is going to be a good thing, because they're going to realize that no matter what the media says, you have to do your homework and make sure of what they said was actually the truth 2 weeks later.
That's right.
So I think that's the disconnection that kid was having.
Well, they don't teach basic things in school that we used to learn. Like, the thing about the Nobel and the dynamite, I mean, I learned about that in elementary school, but they don't teach that anymore. And the reason I brought that up is he said Trump shouldn't get the Nobel Peace Prize because he's bombing things. You can't use.
I believe he was like a fisherman. I believe he was like a fisherman.
He was a chemist. He was if my recollection is, it's been a long time since elementary school, all right? But Nobel was a chemist.
Right, yeah. I mean, for sure he was a chemist, but I think he was trying to sell it as fishing equipment.
Oh, really? Blow up the fish? I don't know. I've seen some movies where they did that. What was the movie where they did that? They put the dynamite in the water and the fish came out. There was a movie where I saw that.
Right, probably like Grumpy Old Men or something.
Something like that,
but,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, the reality of where the country needs to be is further to the right, and that kid was a clear example of it because he doesn't even realize that he's standing up for something that wasn't even done by the Israel military,
That's right. And, and anybody that's in Gaza now, I mean, come on. First off, I don't buy these death numbers. I see the footage out of Gaza. There's nothing left. It looks like Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Yeah, the reason why he was telling them to leave is because there's nothing to stay there for anyway.
Correct.
And I think that's where we're at. That's all I really had to add.
Liberal Alec called at the end of the show. He moved to Wellington, he said. So keep an eye out. If you see some sleazy-looking guy with a 70s mustache that looks like an overweight leather guy from the Village People, that's Liberal Al. Stay away from him.
I'll definitely do that. I appreciate the tip.
Yeah, all right. Okay, yeah. Oh, my God. Every time Liberal Al calls in, he's in a different town. So I want to get to this. This is Anna Navarro, the liberal. Anna Navarro she claims to be a Republican. She's a Jeb Bush Republican, and she's on The View. But in this clip, they have her on as a guest on CNN, and she's talking about, of course, our favorite president, Donald Trump. Listen, Anna Navarro on CNN. I don't even know why she has an accent. She's been in the United States for at least as long as I've been in it, maybe even longer. Why does she still have that accent? I wonder if she really has that accent or if she just plays it up. Okay, so this is an interesting thing because what you're hearing there's some real panic over this AutoPen story and the pardons. These last-minute pardons that came in for these controversial figures, Liz Cheney and the J6 committee, Milley, Fauci, and some others, there's a panic in the Republican establishment about these. And Anna Navarro is a spokesperson for the Bush wing of the Republican Party. Never forget that. Okay, she's from Miami, and Jeb Bush, a lot of people don't understand this because, the president, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Bongino, and others are Floridians. The Florida Republican Party is the state party is really run by Jeb Bush. And Anna Navarro is a part of that machine. So when she's on there talking about the AutoPen and the pardons and Trump voiding them, that to me sounds like there's a panic. The thing about criminals is they always think you got them because they know what they've done that's wrong. And there was a lot of criminal activity. So she's doing these interviews so that she can try to save Liz Cheney and the others. And it also indicates that they do believe that the pardons can be voided. And they could be voided if the president and the attorney general can show that Biden didn't authorize them. Now, I want to tell you guys about Friendly Tire and Margate. I've been buying tires at Friendly Tire and Margate for 15 plus years. And I first found them because I used to have a four-wheel drive Jeep Wrangler that had those big old tires. I mean, really, really big tires. And I loved it. And I got a great deal on it. And I mean, a really good deal on that Jeep Wrangler. And I found out why when I went to buy tires for it. I went to the tire shops around town. It was so expensive. I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I found Friendly Tire. And every tire I've ever bought since then has been from Friendly Tire in Margate. Similar thing happened with Steve. You know, he has new tires out the door and on the road as low as $70 a tire. And when I tell you out the door and on the road, that's because Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or even dispose of your old tires, okay? And, you know, the old tires, he has to pay a guy per tire to take those tires. I couldn't believe it. And I thought that some guy got very lucky and had a deal and he was getting all this recyclable rubber from. No, he's got to pay a guy to take them away per tire. I couldn't believe. But he doesn't charge you for any of that. He doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tire. So when you call Friendly Tire and Friendly Mike gives you a quote over the phone, that's what I mean by out the door and on the road. He also does tire repairs, which other tire shops do not do. They don't. They tell, oh, we don't do repairs. We can't do repairs. You know, these tire shops, not only do they overcharge you, but they have some kind of, you've heard of the thin blue line? They've got a similar line with these tire shops around, except for Friendly Tire. They don't do tire repairs. Friendly Tire does tire repairs, and they're very expensive. They're very inexpensive. And also, he has thousands of used tires, good used tires in stock, okay? And no matter what kind of car you have, he can help you out. And I see people over there with very high-end cars, Porsches, Jags, Vets. If you've got a Tesla, there's some special equipment needed to change the tire on the Tesla. He can help you with that. On my wife's car, I've got run flats. I've had run flats on cars. He gives you the best deals on run flats you've heard anywhere. He's got all the name brands you know and love, Michelin, Goodyear, Pirelli, whatever you like, he can get it. Give him a call, all right? His number is 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. Make sure you tell him I sent you. He'll take extra good care of you, all right? 954-977-9445. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. If you're on hold, hang in there. We got a lot to cover. We've only just begun, as the Carpenters would say. That's right. Oh, man. And when we get back, we'll get to your calls, and I'll get into some new issues as well. My name's Brian. This is Where MAGA Comes to Talk, the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We're here weekday mornings from 6 until 9 a.m., taking your calls live. And by the way, I answer these calls cold on the air, okay? We don't have someone that answers the calls and puts people on hold. All the calls that come in, when you call in, I just put you on hold. No one answers the phone until I say, you're on the air, what's your name, and where are you calling from? Nobody else does that in the business. Okay, so we'll take that break for the top. Come back with your calls right after this. Okay. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, guys. And, of course, make sure you like and share the video, too. Okay. Mike's telling me what live commercials I have to do this hour. Less than 2 minutes, we'll be back. 1 minute. We'll be back in 1 minute. Do I have an Elon Musk pajama set? No, I do not own pajamas. This is Florida, man. We don't wear all that warm clothing at night. Stand by 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm just going to go to the calls. No recapping. I'll recap and get into some new stories later. A very busy news day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I tell you the truth. I don't know how President Trump does it, man. I mean, to think that the man is 78 years old, he could have retired. But yet he's taken on this total disaster. Our foreign policy was a disaster that he took. Our domestic policy here was a disaster. He has taken all this crap on, and there's still, I mean, this press and the foreign press. Let me say this to you. I watched last night. Wesley Clark said that, you know, you're thinking like I would think that he should get the Nobel Peace Prize. But he's not going to get credit. Matter of fact, they're going to attack him for giving parts of Ukraine away.
That's right.
And this is all that's going to go on here, because first of all, people out there got to understand that Russia is too strong to be pushed out of that territory that they're in right now. So what do? Just let them keep on fighting like this?
Exactly.
And
Wesley Clark, remember when Wesley Clark was in charge in Bosnia and they bombed, he bombed a Chinese TV station, if I remember. I appreciate the call, Richie. Yeah, I agree. Richie's right. When Trump stops the killing, they're going to criticize him for it, because these are sick people. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
I can. Speak up.
Give me 1 second then.
That's okay. I'm cool. We'll sit back and relax. It's
All right. Hello. My name is Keth. I'm calling from California. I was wondering if you'd like to have a discussion about Trump's policies and talk about it. I'm not coming here to attack you or anything like that. I'm just coming here to talk about.
Okay. No, it's nice to hear. Yeah. Okay. Which one of his policies do you take issue with?
First, I feel like, don't you think it's a problem that his tax cuts are going to billionaires while we're not funding our Social Security and Medicaid? I feel like it's not only just liberals that rely on Social Security. Some of my friends, they have pretty conservative.
Do you know? Okay, now to get tax, when they give tax. By the way, there's been no tax cuts given yet. Okay, President Trump has not even introduced a tax bill. But when you say he's giving tax cuts to billionaires, this is very interesting, because what President Trump hold on a second. Slow down for a second, okay? Because I want to talk about this. Slow down. Okay. Slow down. I'm here till 9, okay? 5 days a week. If you're on hold, stand by, okay? This is an interesting thing, because you say that President Trump is giving tax cuts to billionaires, and in the first tax bill that they're going to introduce, according to the president, they're going to give no tax on tips. So the people that are tip workers, waiters, waitresses, bartenders, Uber drivers, those types of people, are you telling me that there are billionaires who are waiting on tables in California? Because no tax on tips is a tax cut to waiters and waitresses and bartenders and people that are like DoorDash drivers and stuff. Are you telling me that there are billionaires that are driving for DoorDash and Uber Eats and waiting on tables at TGI Fridays?
Can I respond?
Well, you could explain. I'm confused.
Sure. No, if you read the bill, it's not only just those stuff. It's also about giving tax cuts to billionaires for cutting down Social Security and everything like
No.
that.
What bill is this? No bill's been introduced. There's been no bill introduced to read.
Are you serious? Have you not read the bill? The bill.
No, President Trump has not. The Republicans have not introduced the tax cut bill yet. There's no bill to read.
Okay, what about? Are you serious? You just didn't read the bill that Chuck Schumer and everyone else, the 10 Democrats, signed with.
That was the continuing. That was the continuing resolution for the. No, I don't read bills. Okay.
Yeah,
but that is the continue. That no. That was not. No, that was not tax cuts. That was no. There's no
Social Security.
Nope.
There's a reason why if you.
Nope.
Chuck Schumer.
That's not true.
Saying that he shouldn't sign it until he signs it.
You know, Chuck Schumer lies. Okay. Chuck and these people lie. Democrats lie. When they say
Trump said that First of all, Trump even went on Truth Social and said that Chuck Schumer was one of the good Democrats.
Well, he voted for the continuing resolution while he's supporting the terrorist, against Israel. But here's the thing: when they say they're not cutting people's Social Security unless you're an illegal alien who's receiving Social Security benefits illegally, then you're going to get your benefits cut. But no one who's in this country legally or a U.S. citizen is going to have their benefits cut. That's a lie.
First of all, the thing is, I live in California.
I know. That's why you think these crazy things.
I worked in government agencies, and I'll tell you this myself. I am a government contractor. I work and I employ people. And I employ people from India that come here, that do their masters here, right? They get their H-1B, and I employ them to do some government contracts.
Yeah.
And none of them are, first of all, some of them that I've hired are 50, 60 years old. None of them are getting Social Security benefits.
Yeah, well, but this is the deal, okay? You know, the Democrats for the last. I'm not talking about your H-1B visa holders from India. The people that Biden was bringing in through the southern border, right? The illegal aliens from the southern border.
They're not getting paid.
Yeah, they are.
They're not paid.
Yes, they are. They set them up. Excuse me.
For the government.
Well, then I don't know. I don't know where you're getting your information.
I work for Medi-Cal.
Medi-Cal is not the federal government. That's state government in California.
Yes. I work for Medi-Cal and also dispersing government loans.
They put them. Excuse me. They have put the last 4 years. They were putting illegal immigrants who are in the country illegally. They were putting them on welfare benefits and setting them up in rent-free homes in these migrant hotels and apartment buildings. This is all well documented.
They're not.
It is. You're wrong.
They're not.
You're either wrong or lying.
There's not enough space. First of all,
well, that's why there's a housing shortage for renters. That's why rent has gone up in so many parts of the country.
The reason why rents are going up is because of big companies like
BlackRock. No, in fact, no, that's not true. I mean, BlackRock doesn't own my house.
Also, they buy up the land, they buy up houses and everything like that, and you also
they buy up palaces.
Yes, houses.
So what?
Yes.
So what?
Well, if you buy up houses, you can drive up the price. You realize?
Well, no. When you own a home and you choose to rent it, you can rent it for whatever the market will get. That when you rent or you sell a product, you want to sell that product or rent that apartment or home for the highest amount that the market will pay. That's called business.
Yes, but the problem is that when a business is buying all the houses.
First off, that's not true. You know, my daughter lives in California. She lives in Los Angeles. And her rent, she rents. Her rent is less, and she lives in a nice area in LA. Her rent is less than if she were renting here in Florida. That's one of the reasons she moved to California.
Rent control.
No.
Rent control.
No, she's not in a rent control place. There's a lot of vacancies because after 2020, so many people left California. Florida had a population boom with people that came from these blue states. Rents are higher here. Listen, I do appreciate the call, but a mind is a terrible thing to waste. From the land of the fruits and nuts. All right. Let's take another call. I probably shouldn't, but some of these people have been on hold a long time. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Andrew. I've called in a few times, and although I disagree with you on some things, I do appreciate you doing, what you do. I think it's important to have these discussions about things and for people to hear both sides of what's happening here. I haven't heard much of what you've been talking about this morning, so if this is a little left field, I do apologize. I just seen Israel in the title.
Yep.
And I was wondering how you feel about our, basically direct engagement with the Houthis recently.
Well, they just attacked a U.S. ship yesterday.
Right.
So whatever President Trump does to bomb them out of existence is justified. And according to President Trump, the last 4 years they've been attacking U.S. shipping quite regularly over the last few years. So they've been attacking us.
They've been attacking the shipping lane, but I don't think they have actually. The U.S. Navy has been attacking the Houthis for a while now. I mean, it's not like a.
The Houthis. Every time I think about that, I think about Houthi and the blowfish. I always think about Houthi and the blowfish. They are a front for Iran. Okay, Iran, like with Hamas. So yeah, bomb them. They shouldn't be attacking any shipping.
So now, if Russia were doing a similar thing, like shutting down shipping lanes or enticing trade wars or invading allied countries, would we support a similar level of response, or does Putin get a pass on that?
No, we would handle it different because they have nuclear weapons. Okay, so what we would do is have a mass economic embargo that would bankrupt the country. That's what we would do against Russia.
But do you think that our kind of inaction so far?
What inaction?
Doing anything?
What inaction? Where?
So the inaction of pulling the aid and then pulling the intelligence that gave Russia a huge advantage, and then they were able to take a bunch of territory during that lull where we stopped supporting them. So
President Trump brought Zelensky to the White House to sign a deal that was for a ceasefire. He told Trump he was going to do it. He told Trump, and then when he lied. He got there and he wouldn't do it. So President Trump had to put pressure on. He had to put pressure on Zelensky to agree to a ceasefire,
which Putin just outright said no, we're not going to do. Which is exactly what
that's not true. In fact, today, a couple days ago, Putin said that he's open to a ceasefire, and he's calling President Trump today to begin discussions on it.
Tell me where I'm wrong in this string of events, if you don't mind, because if I'm wrong, I want to be educated. The way I seen it, Zelensky came to they did the Oval Office, whatever we want to call that, where Zelensky was essentially, the way that I was interpreting what he was saying was, hey, I'm here and I'm happy to sign a ceasefire, but this can't be the end-all be-all because Putin has broken, 20 ceasefires. So that's
okay.
great.
No, you're wrong, and I'll tell you, you're wrong. Listen, stop there. You're wrong.
That's exactly what he was saying.
No, you're wrong, and I'll explain to you.
He said it 4
Let me
times.
stop talking, and I'll explain it to you. Okay. President Trump and Zelensky had a verbal agreement to sign this mineral deal. The minerals, these mines, where these minerals are in eastern Ukraine, which is the side that Russia's on, right? They're along towards the Russian side of the border. What Trump
said the same thing with the Kurds.
Slow down. I'm going to explain the whole Trump peace process to you that Zelensky blew.
No, I understand.
No, you don't. Maybe not everyone's as enlightened as you. I'm going to finish my thought. So with the mineral. I don't care about Syria. I'll explain it with or without you on the phone. You got to stop talking. I will do this. I don't care about the Kurds. We're not talking. No. The Kurds. You throw out a bunch of things. Listen, I'll do this with or without you on the phone. All right. Thank you for your call. I'm not going to sit here and be interrupted and talk to a child who won't take turns talking. I'll explain this quickly. I'm late for the break. The mineral deal, those mines are on the Russian side of Ukraine, right, on the side that borders Ukraine. Americans would have moved there with their entire families, with American companies, and set up shop. For Putin to break a ceasefire and attack Ukraine, he'd have to kill Americans, civilians, women, children. Okay? He wouldn't do that. So what President Trump was doing through the mineral deal wasn't just getting money back that Ukraine owes us. He was also setting up, without using the military, a DMZ like we have in Korea, but without an army, with civilians, and it would have protected them because Russia's not going to kill Americans to come into Ukraine. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Great calls today. I don't mind people challenging me, but you got to take turns. Got to take turns. That's the way it is. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, all right? This is where MAGA comes to talk, as you can tell. We'll be back in 2 minutes. "90 seconds, we'll be back, guys. 90 seconds. Great calls today. I don't mind being challenged. I'll defend my positions. One minute. Answering text and DMs during the break. I try to answer as many as I can. That's what I'm doing during the breaks a lot of times. You see me on my phone, I'm answering DMs and things. Okay, here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Very good calls. I enjoy being challenged. All right, let's go to the phones. I've lost track of the order in which you've all called in. I'm trying to get it straight, but, you know, I apologize. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Okay, all right. Had to use the dump button for the first time today, Mike. Oh, my goodness. If you're on hold, stand by. as we wait for the delay to re-engage. Now, while we're waiting for the delay to re-engage, you know what I had to do this morning? I put on my Apple Watch, and I put it in the same hole I've been putting it in, and I had to move the hole again because it was too big. I've moved up 2 holes on my Apple Watch band since I lost all this weight thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You know, I've lost over 25 pounds, and now I'm staying in the maintain phase because if I lose any, I tried on my cruise clothes over the weekend, and everything was fitting me great because I gained weight since the last cruise. And if I lose any more weight, I'm going to have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe, which I want to do, but we're leaving like not this weekend, but the weekend after, a week from Sunday's, the cruise. I don't have time to get a new suit made and fitted and tailored and everything else. So I'm going to maintain, and then after the cruise, I'm going to get back and lose some more. I'd like to lose maybe 10 or 15 more. I don't know. I got to decide when I get back from the cruise. But I just wanted to lose 25 pounds, and I lost more than that. But if you want to lose 40, 50 pounds, even more, Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you. I've done no exercise, nothing, okay? I'm not taking any medications, those things you hear about, and I'm eating foods that I like, that I would normally eat. And I'm a very picky eater. Anybody who, and my family will tell you, I am such a picky eater, I'd be embarrassed to tell you the things I would not eat. You guys would laugh at me. But yeah, so I'm eating regular food that I would normally eat, and I've lost all this weight, thanks to Dr. Zuckerman over at Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Give them a call. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. All right, the delay is re-engaged. Here we go. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, I just like to say, you know, President Trump being such a law-abiding guy, when these judges decided to be against what he was doing, I was saying, man, he should just say ignore them. But he just said, a good guy, and he went to do it the right way and went to repeal it. Now I heard Pamela say they're gonna ignore the judges now because these guys are stepping way out of their league, and that's what's be doing.
Well, you know, it's what the president said on Air Force One. They're trying to be president. These judges think they're presidents.
How dare they get involved in the presidential the way he does his business, you know? But this is what they try to get away with it. If they got away with it, good for them. But now he's finally stepping up and saying enough is enough.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how could a Democrat want to be a Democrat? They won't stand up for somebody who has cancer. They want to bring criminals
because
back.
they're mental patients. Look at how these leftists are vandalizing Teslas. Those Teslas are driven mostly by liberals, and they're vandalizing them. They some guy put a swastika on one guy's Cybertruck the other day. The guy driving it's a liberal Jew, and the guy put a swastika on a liberal guy who's also a Jew's Cybertruck. I mean, they're nutcases.
Man, not all of them, but too many of them.
Most of them, you know, we've obviously got a mental health crisis in this country, and you see it in liberals.
Yeah, some dumb liberal just said to me the other day, "Oh, President Trump has the lowest approval rating of any president ever." I said, "What are you nuts? Well, this is President Trump, not Biden. You got that mixed up. They're nuts. You're right. They're totally nuts. I don't know how they could be. Anybody can want to be there." You know, we got to save the Department of Education. 25% is only given to the kids. 75% is being stolen.
Exactly.
This is absurd.
And 25% isn't going to the kids; it's going to the unions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
The companies that buy the books, you know, there's all kinds of scandal and all that. The computers and all that.
Then they get everybody who's working for the government not there, sitting home, collecting checks. These people are crazy. They just want to destroy
Yeah,
the
they're
country.
nuts. They're nuts.
You know?
All right, Doug, I got to run. Thanks for the call. Yeah, let me play this clip. This is President Trump on Air Force One on Sunday, flying back to D.C., talking about the liberal judge that told him to turn the plane around with all the Venezuelan gang members. Oh, no, this is on the fired federal workers. Okay, I'll get that soundbite later. They're asking a Clinton judge ordered Trump to rehire all the federal workers that he let go. This is what they're asking him about in this clip.
Well, I think it's absolutely, I have nothing to do with that other than I heard about the decision. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. It's a judge who's putting himself in the position of the President of the United States.
That's right.
Elected by close to 80 million votes. And you have that, having more and more of that. It's a very dangerous thing for our country. And I would suspect that we're going to have to get a decision from the Supreme Court. It's a very dangerous decision for our country. These are people, in many cases, they don't show up for work. Nobody even knows that they exist. And a judge wants us to pay them even if they don't know they exist. If they exist, I don't think that's going to be happening. But we'll have to see. You have to speak to the lawyers about that.
Yeah, I love how he's not. You notice he's not defending his positions to the press anymore like he did in the first term. Pretty wide. Doesn't give them anywhere to go, does it? All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break and be right back. We'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. 1 minute. We'll be back in 1 minute, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. We have passed the halfway mark of today's show. Callers on hold, standby. Before I get back to the issues, I got this DM on X this morning. This cracks me up, okay? I gotta share this with you guys. I've not gotten a message like this in a long time. And, I have a new X, Brian Craig USA. That's me on X, Brian Craig USA. I got locked out of my old Twitter, and I'm not yet into it. So if anybody can get a hold of Elon, can you get me into my old Twitter that I've had for all these years? But anyway, I got a DM from someone, this woman on X, right? And before I read you the DM, I'm going to read you her description on her X profile. She says, I'm a lottery winner of $750 million. I'm giving out $50,000 to my first 2,000 luckily selected friends, right? That's her. So she sends me this DM, and I had no idea who she was. So I look, who is this sending me a DM? It's a brand new X, right? So she DM'd me, hello, how are you doing? I'm Jane from the United States, and you? And then she writes, congratulations. I have selected you amongst one of the people receiving $50,000. Would you like to get yours now? Now, this woman, she DM'd me at 4:43 a.m. So she's offering me $50,000. Would I like to get that money now? So I did what I probably shouldn't have done. I responded, not for the $50,000, I know it's a scam, guys, but I wanted to see if this was like a real person, right? So I wrote back at, right before the show at 5:42 a.m., I wrote this, who wouldn't say yes to that? Because I wanted to see if I got a response that was, to that, as opposed to saying just yes. And she wrote back, a lot do reject due to the fact they have enough. Really? Who has so much money they would turn down $50K? And when she wrote due to the fact, she spelled do, D-O. Then she goes on, we are targeting on creating a balance in the society. Things get hard day by day, so we make a difference with what we could offer. Where are you from? So I didn't respond to that one. And then about an hour goes by, and she just sent me another DM with just a question mark. So what I'm wondering is, how does this scam work? I don't know. The only thing I could think of, there's two things. That they either ask me for my bank account information, I give them that, and I'm done. Or they tell me that I got to pay some kind of fee to get it. I'm not exactly sure, but if any, I'm just curious. How do they, and does anybody respond to this and give their personal information? Remember the old days? We used to get those emails from some barrister in Africa that had $20 million for you. There was a car accident and you're the sole survivor. I've traced you down, and I have $20 million for you. I don't know. It's hard. People must fall for these scams, or people wouldn't do them, right? People got to do it. you know, I know they like to say elderly people, but how many elderly people are getting DMs on X that would say, oh, yes, oh, let me check my DMs? And this is not somebody I follow because I had to go and look. You know, you only get direct DMs from people you follow, and it's a brand new X. I'm not following a lot of people. So, no, I don't know. People must, I don't know what the scam could be other than I have to pay some money to get the money, right? And then I never hear from them. I don't know. I don't know, but it's, oh, man. You know, these people that do these scams, they're so smart technically. It seems to me they could make more money if they did things legitimately, right? I think so. I mean, if you got that kind of knowledge, but that's just what they do. All right, so yesterday, we got a lot from the president yesterday. Lots going on. And he was at the Kennedy Center yesterday, and then he had an impromptu press conference. And if you've seen the long shot of that, that Kennedy Center is huge, and he's standing alone in this massive lobby with the press far away. I guess he wanted to stay away from the boom mics so that they didn't hit him in the face again. And we got a lot of information from him and some really good interaction. So let me go through some of these. This is the first clip. These clips I'm going to play now are all of the president at the Kennedy Center yesterday. Okay, now they're asking him about the auto pen controversy with Biden's pardons. See what the press are trying to do? They're trying to get an example of him using the auto pen. There's a panic in D.C. And what I'd really like to see happen, so we can get to the bottom of this, there's got to be a process to use the auto pen, right? This is not some auto pen that you or I might have. I don't even know what that would entail. The auto pen at the White House for the President of the United States is the most... I want you to think about this. The auto pen I'm talking about, the auto pen for the President of the United States at the White House is the most powerful writing instrument ever created. Because with that auto pen, you can send billions of dollars anywhere you want. You can wage war. You can bomb people anywhere you want. You know, so the auto pen is very, very powerful. So I find it hard to believe that the auto pen is like the copier at the office, right? And if you even, in a lot of offices, to use the copy machine, you got to have a code. You ever been in an office where you had to use a code and they know how much copying you did, right? So I'd like to see Carolyn Levitt show the American people the process to use the presidential auto pen, the most powerful writing instrument ever created. And I would like to think that there's all kinds of logs and signing out and multiple people have to be involved. I find it hard to believe that somebody that's working in the West Wing, could be an intern, can walk over, grab the auto pen, sign some orders, and next thing you know, bombs are dropping on Syria, right? So I'd be very interested to know that. And if that's the case, there must be an entire process for the president to authorize the usage of it. And if they would walk us through the process and show it to us, I think it'd be pretty interesting and help expose this story of Biden. All right, so here he is again. This is the president just having a little fun with NBC. Yeah, exactly. Enough of that. Okay, but this is this was the big one, okay? The JFK files.
We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this, and I've instructed my people that are responsible, lots of different people, put together by Tulsi Gabbard. And that's going to be released
Okay, now that tomorrow is today. So the Kennedy file released today. We got a little more detail on that after the president dropped that. It's over 80,000 pages, completely unredacted. Completely unredacted, over 80,000 pages. So, my original thought was there's not going to be anything in there. And then I started thinking, I don't think so. Now, I believe that President Kennedy was shot by the same people who shot President Trump. So I don't expect criminals to have documented their crimes and then filed it away at the U.S. government somewhere. However, there are so many Kennedy experts that when these 80,000 completely unredacted files, and what the president is telling us, this is all the government's got, that these JFK experts, and there's a lot of laymen out there, as people that are experts to the nth degree on the Kennedy assassination, when they start going through the documents, they're going to find all kinds of things that would be meaningless to me or you or most people, even scholars and members of the media, but they know the players and everything so well. I think we might get some surprises that might lead us into some interesting directions. I'm very excited about this. Now, I'll tell you this. The free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's is an incredible deal. You can get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone. You get a notification on your cell phone whenever there's movement at your door, no matter where you're located. Pretty good deal. And you can get that free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call, no matter where you're located. 1-800-ALARM-ME. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We're going to take our last break of the second hour and be right back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Come on. We'll be back in 1 minute. Call us on hold. Hang in there. Looking for this one soundbite. that I wanted to play. There it is. Okay. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. And if you're already subbed, like and share the video, guys, all right? We're back in 20 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. A little late. That's my fault. I was answering my text and DMs during the break and lost track of the time. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. Oh, I hear you. All right. Once, twice. Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'd like to say I really appreciate everything that you do with your content. I'm a very big fan. I am an Army veteran, so I first and foremost want to say I thank you for everything that you do with putting out the truth.
Okay, thank you. But?
I mean, what I want to lead with, first of all, is, honestly, a lot of these liberals, with what they say, it's a lot of lies, a lot of what they say. Before Trump was charged with these bogus felonies that they put against him, I tend to follow a lot of independent media. I don't tend to really watch the news. Maybe I would favor Fox News because I'm more conservative, but I tend to watch more YouTube because I know there's not big business behind people that do YouTube content. They're not for the most
Don't
part,
be so sure about that. Don't be so sure about that. The mainstream corporate media have made their ways. They're making their ways into the alt media more than you know.
Understood. But what I mean is they're not as like, let's say, as tied to it as, let's say, like CNN, for instance, which is they're so tied into the the status quo is what I'm saying. But a lot of people like to say, especially on the liberal side of things and the left side of things, is that Trump is doing all this stuff to line his pockets. Elon Musk is doing all this stuff to line his pockets. If you look at the old interview that Trump had when Oprah still favored him. She asked him, why don't you run for president? When he was more favored by, a lot of the left, when he was a Democrat, when he lived in New York, and he said, the only way I would run for president is if the country got so bad that I had to stand in and fix things. And that's what's happened. I mean, Trump is a billionaire. They asked him on Full Send podcast, why, if you're a billionaire and you have all this stuff going for you, why are you doing this? Why are you putting your reputation on the line? Why are you putting your life on the line? Why are you putting, your record on the line to do all this stuff? Why don't you just go, on a boat and just enjoy your life? And he said, that's a good question. I get asked that a lot. And he said, it's because I love this country so much that, I'm willing to do all these things. I mean, if it wasn't for him turning his head in that moment where he looked at that immigration poster, he wouldn't be alive today. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, it may be the same people that killed JFK, that killed MLK, maybe the same people that went after Trump. And it's the deep state that wants to keep the lies going and keep the status quo going.
That's correct.
The truth doesn't get out.
No, you're right. You're absolutely correct. I agree with everything you said. You were so complimentary in the beginning, I was waiting for the butt to go after me. But no, I agree. I agree with everything you've said. The reason they accuse him of going into the presidency for money and then Elon Musk getting involved in politics for money, it's because that's their motivation. I was talking earlier, Chuck Schumer has done nothing but work for the government. He's worth over $80 million. Nancy Pelosi is similar. She's worth over $200 million, right? So that they go into government to enrich themselves, so they just assume everyone that goes into government and public service does it to enrich themselves. They can't even fathom that somebody goes into this line of work because they love the country.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, agreeing with you. Like most of the time, like let's say you're in a relationship with a female or a female with a male, or whatever type of relationship you're with. You ever have seen that relationship where the other partner is saying, "Hey, you're cheating on me. You're cheating. You're being disloyal." Usually, they're the ones calling you out and saying that because they're the ones insecure and being disloyal themselves.
Yeah.
And they're trying to find, trying to find something disloyal in you so that they don't feel so bad about what they're doing. And they're trying to put their fault
It's called
on you,
it's called projection. They're projecting onto him what they're doing.
Correct. Yeah, and it's disgusting, honestly, because this man has risked his life. You know, he's risked his reputation. Even his family has been, put into the mix. You know, Melania Trump, who, in my opinion, is very quiet for the most part, doesn't even get involved in all the political stuff. And she's even been put into the mix with Whoopi Goldberg saying the stuff that she's done.
No, they say terrible things about her. Yeah. All right. Hey, listen. Well, I appreciate the call. All right. And I tell you, I'm not going to get sidetracked. Let's take another call or two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. Once, twice, and you are out. Oh, let me talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. Oh, man. I was telling you guys, the stock market ups and downs, I can't live my life that way. I just can't. I work long and hard for every penny I have, and everybody does. Okay? And to me, the stock market, that's gambling. That's gambling. And, my daughter is in Vegas right now with her grandmother. And I have no desire to go to law. I'm not into gambling. When we go on our cruises, I never gamble, ever. I just don't like gambling. I don't like the stress. Money, it's too hard to earn money. And the stock market to me is gambling. With Jupiter Joe Thomas and annuities, no matter what happens in the stock market, your money is safe. It is secure. You won't lose, even if it completely tanked. Your money in an annuity is safe and secure. It's no risk to you at all, no matter what happens with the stock market. Plus, you're guaranteed income in your retirement for the rest of your life. That's amazing. Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located in the United States. He'll talk to you, ask you some questions, and then he'll put together a custom proposal just for you based on your needs, your situation, and your goals. Give him a call, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Eric from California.
Hey.
And I would say thanks for your show. I've been watching you for a few years, and man, I'm just getting so happy about all this winning that's happening. I'm excited because I'm now like 30 cents cheaper for gas in California is a big deal because I paid $4.39 for premium because I have to use that for my truck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, my coworkers, they switched their voting to Trump, and in their county, they were Democrat, and they pulled Trump this year.
Wow.
And I was like, man, it's changing. Things are changing. I know might get callers from California, but man, it's a great time again.
When they
like you out there.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your kind words. In California, they're going to cut off the Social Security and federal benefits to all the illegals out there. And there's going to be a mass exodus of self-deportations from California when they no longer have their Social Security and Medicaid and all that stuff coming in. And I really wonder what's going to happen then. How many of them, is California going to go more red when all those illegals getting the benefits are leave?
A majority of the people I work with are Mexican, and they flipped to Trump. And like I'm on the border of Riverside, and they're in San Bernardino.
Mm-hmm.
And on my side, it's been Republican. San Bernardino went Republican for the first time in years. I was just excited about that. And these are people that came here legally, and they don't like using their tax dollars.
Well, you know what?
And
California has more Republicans than Florida. There are more registered Republicans in California than in Florida. Pretty amazing.
And it is, and it's expanding because now, like, you drive to work, you're seeing Trump stickers, Trump flags. This is crazy, but this year has been like, I have never seen people with signs in the yard with Trump.
That's amazing.
That was not here at all.
That's
it's
amazing.
Happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
That's
I
awesome.
was born in Compton, and I have people that's from South Central that voted for Trump.
You're black? Are you black?
No. I'm Native American.
Well, I'm Native American. I'm Native American. I was born here. What are you, like an Indian?
Absolutely. Yeah, Navajo.
You're Navajo?
Which is fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's Navajo in
the
Compton? I
co-talker.
thought everybody in Compton was black.
let's just say my mom moved out of Arizona, and from there my dad lost his job, and I went to the system to go by the cheapest way. But yeah, they had let's not go too far in detail on that. But
well, no, the reason I ask is when you said Compton, I just assumed you were black, and you don't sound black, and I was right. You're not. You're Native American.
Yeah, there's not too many of us, but a lot of my cousins voted red for the first time also.
That's
from
awesome.
The Reds. And I'm saying there's a change in seeing the polling of how the Democrats are doing. It's unreachable. It's
well, I've told this to people a few times. My daughter in LA, my daughter's black, so she has to go to a black hair salon, right? Because she's black, and white hairstylists don't know how to do her hair. And they're all MAGA. They're black women, black owner. They're at a black hair salon in Los Angeles. They're all MAGA. And I was in shock when my daughter told me that.
I have a lot of friends that are black and a lot of friends that are Mexican, and they're not MAGA.
Listen, I'm out of time. I gotta run. I gotta run for the top of the hour break.
Well, appreciate your call.
All right,
Thank
take care.
So much.
All right, take care. He's really Native American. All right, we'll be right back. Hey, Scott, it's Brian. Hey, are you ready or? Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. It'll be a couple minutes. Hold on. 30 seconds, guys. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on this Tuesday morning. And it's time to check in with Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Scott, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. We've been been on your show for 15 years, and we've been saving people a lot of money on their electric bills by installing radiant barrier and insulation and repairing ducts and even putting in entire duct systems. And I got some exciting news yesterday. A finance company contacted me and said they have financing based on your ability to pay if you own a house. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people seem to be really tight with their money right now. So if you have some repairs that you need to get done, I can easily refer you to the finance company. If they get you approved, then we can come do the repairs. When you're happy and the work is done, you sign off, and then they pay us, and then you make the low monthly payments.
Well, that's awesome.
With the 30% income tax credit you get back in the savings, most people should be able to, cover their payments through their savings.
Well,
on the electric bill, maybe, if not all of it, almost all of it.
Well, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts has been with us here for, as he said, 15 years. And what he has is, it's called radiant barrier. And he installs this in your attic, and it reflects the sun heat away from your house. So when those hot summer months, your house is much cooler because of this. And remember, your ductwork and everything is in your attic, so that's cooler. Your ceiling's cooler, and it really keeps your house. How much cooler is the average house, Scott, with the radiant barrier?
Well, the attic is 30 to 40 degrees cooler, but the house literally, if you did turn the air on and you had two identical houses, one would be like 10 or 15 degrees hotter than the other one if it didn't have the barrier.
Yeah.
With the barrier, it's cool. And the reason we figured this out is we do garages that are not air conditioned, right? It's part of the house, and the garage temperature in the garage drops dramatically, like 10 to 15 degrees.
Yeah, and most people don't even have insulation over the roof of their garage at home. Very few people have insulation over the garage.
Yeah, you really, if you're not going to air condition it, you really don't need to insulate the garage if you put the barrier up, because it won't make it any cooler, because the garage basically, if the door opens or whatever, the heat has to go somewhere. So if you had insulation, it would trap it in the garage. It just lets it rise up and flow out of the garage.
Yeah.
But the rest of the house, is cooling from such a lower point, and the fact that your insulation doesn't get hot, that radiant heat wave doesn't come down and heat up your insulation, your ceilings, it's just a game changer. The air conditioning literally runs, like half the time it used to, and the house feels cooler and crisper than it's ever been. People love the radiant barrier.
And it saves you boatloads on your electric bill every summer, all year long, for the rest of the time you live in the house. It's a great deal. Give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call, 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. You can call or text. All right, Scott, we will talk later in the week.
Hey, thanks, Brian. God bless, and everybody have a great day.
All right, good. And Scott's a good MAGA guy. He'll take good care of you. All right, we've had really good calls. That guy before the top of the hour, we were up against the top, so I had to cut the call short, but he was a real Indian. When he told me, I could tell he had an accent. And did you hear what he said? There's a lot of people claim to be things they're not. I call them cosplay callers. They have these. He had the accent that sounded Indian, but he also said, when I talk to my friends back on the res, did you hear that? No one would say that. No, these cosplay callers wouldn't be smart enough to say. Now they might now if they try to be an Indian and call in today, but And notice how he didn't get upset when I referred to him as an Indian. All right, so let's get back to the news because a lot is happening. And a story dropped on ABC News yesterday, and the biggest liberal talking point of the last couple of months, you're not going to hear. I've heard from a lot of liberals on the phones today, and none of them have asked me about the price of eggs. This is ABC News yesterday.
Finally, there's some good news. These are staples in all of our fridges. A lot of people love eggs. Many of us have them. And finally, I have some good news for you. The USDA says wholesale egg prices dropped for the third straight week. And it's a pretty big drop. The average wholesale price nationwide fell to $4.15 per dozen. So let's put that in perspective. That is down about $2.70 in just 1 week. Prices were over $8 at the end of last month. So part of the reason for the steep drop is people were put off by those high prices, so demand is lower. The other reasons experts say are because bird flu outbreaks have decreased. And get this, Easter is really late this year, so demand isn't that high right now. However, USDA also says declines haven't been reflected at store shelves yet, so you still may see those higher prices. But experts say consumers should start to see those prices drop by the time Easter finally rolls around, just in time to dye those Easter eggs.
Oh, okay, so this was ABC News, and Rush Limbaugh used to have this phrase that I loved so much, accidental journalism. Like this, a lot of people think this is an accidental case of journalism, where the fake news media actually reports some truth because they're reporting that the egg prices have dropped about half in the last month, and by a couple dollars, and by those prices are by the dozen, a couple dollars in just the last week. But notice, but this is not an accidental case of journalism. This is fake news spin. There are certain things that people notice the price of. The first one, obviously, is gasoline, because there's a gas station on every street corner in America, and you see the signs. So everybody knows what gas costs. And now eggs. Everyone's looking at eggs because so much attention has been put on eggs. Now, we've been hearing for the last 2 months, since President Trump began his second term, that the egg prices from the fake news media were Trump's fault. What's Trump doing about the egg prices? The egg prices are high. Notice when ABC reports the story, they've been reporting, like the rest of the fake news liberal media, that the egg prices are high because of Trump. But now that they've dropped by half since he's been president, in the last month they've dropped by 50%. It has nothing to do with Trump. They don't even mention his name. Well, the bird flu has gone away. I was telling you guys weeks ago, I saw a few weeks ago, and I talked about this on the air, and I'm sure I played the audio at the time. I don't have it now, sadly, because it was so long ago. I did post it on X, but I got locked out of that X account, so it's not on my new one. It was before I had my new X account. But there was a guy who's a chicken farmer, an egg, whatever you call these egg farmer guys. And he said that the bird flu, it's a thing every year, and this time of year, egg prices always go up because the bird flu. It's a seasonal thing. He said when the birds are migrating in the winter, they spread the bird flu. He's noticed this since he's been in the business. So ABC News, this is 100% spin. They don't want to give Trump credit for anything. Egg prices have dropped by 50% in the last month because bird flu's gone away. Easter's later this year. This thing, experts say, those industry insiders believe, but nowhere is Trump responsible. How could he be responsible for the increase that they've been blaming him for, but have no connection, not even mentioned in the story, of them dropping? And President Trump actually had a major role in this because the Trump administration did get involved to lower egg prices. Okay, we were talking about that a couple weeks ago too on the program, but they don't. So that's a spin. Don't think all of a sudden ABC News has gotten woke, because I promise you they have not gotten woke. Now, also, because I've been really the only person covering this, and we're close to our break, so I only have a little bit of time, but that's all I need for this. The first space rescue in history is taking place as we speak. The rescue mission sent up by the first bud, Elon Musk, left the space station last night and will be splashing down somewhere off the coast of Florida sometime between 5 and 6 p.m. this evening, Mar-a-Lago time, which is what I've redubbed East Coast time. East Coast time I now call Mar-a-Lago time. This is an absolute amazing event. It is the first rescue in the history of the manned space program. There has never been a space rescue mission before. And as I was telling you yesterday, this rescue mission is being done by two women. The SpaceX commander is a woman, and the pilot is a woman. One's an Army colonel, the other one's an Air Force major. And so what I was telling you yesterday, and I threw this out. No one even attempted to give me an alternative, and I got a lot of DMs from people about this yesterday. This is not just a historic event when that splashdown happens early this evening off the coast of Florida, the first space rescue in the history of the manned space program. This first accomplishment by humans, a rescue in space, has been done by women. This is a wokester's fantasy, okay, what's happening here. And they're not the first women to mount a rescue mission in outer space. They're the first humans, which makes it doubly historic. And if Elon Musk were not MAGA, if he were still a Democrat, and Kamala Harris, God forbid, had won the presidency, what would be going on right now would be a celebration of all things women. And these women that are bringing these stranded astronauts home would be on The View, they'd be on CNN, they would have parades, they would probably even name schools after them. Certainly scholarships to the different universities to earn degrees in women's studies. But because Elon Musk is MAGA and he's doing so much great work for our country, these women that are making history in our space program when this splashdown occurs today are not even going to get a mention in history books. This is going to be one of those forgotten moments in history, and I'm not even sure if it'll be carried live on television. It should. They know where there'll be cameras there for the splashdown, but it's very little coverage. It really tells you the media's hatred of Donald Trump and Elon Musk is at a level that is beyond measure. All right, we're going to take our first break of the third hour. My name is Brian. Our number toll free 1-888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Hey, Barry, it's Brian. Hey there, it's going to be about 90 seconds. I'm going to put you on hold, and then I'll be with you in 90 seconds, all right? Hold on. All right. 1 minute, guys. I have lost I wanted to play this soundbite, and I just lost it. I got to find it again. There it is. Okay, good. Got that one and that one. I had two sound bites I meant to play before the break, and I hit a button and lost them. So I queued them up. That's okay. All right, we're coming back. That's what happens when you're live. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. How are you today?
Great. What do you have for us today?
About probate. I wanted to talk about probate, and what we all hear is that we need to avoid probate. Even though many of us may not know what probate is, we know we need to avoid it. So what are we trying to avoid? Well, what we're trying to avoid is court. And any of us who've ever had the experience of going to court know that it's not generally a pleasant experience. And for these reasons, it's expensive. You have to hire an attorney. There's all kinds of expenses and court costs involved. So it could cost a lot of money. And that is the case with probate. Probate can cost a significant amount of your assets. And instead of those assets going to your loved ones, they go to the lawyers and the courts and all that. So that's one of the reasons why you want to avoid probate. Another thing with court is it can take a long time. It could drag on. And probates generally take anywhere from 9 months to up to 2 years. So do you want your family waiting around 2 years before they even receive the inheritance, or do you want them to get it almost immediately? And then, of course, when you're dealing with court, it's aggravating, it's stressful, it's time-consuming, all of those things, and it's also a public process. When you have a trust, you avoid the probate process, you avoid all the aggravation, the time, the cost, all of that, because the assets move quickly through your successor trustee to your beneficiaries without court involvement. And that's the key, to avoid probate and not put your family through the expense, time, or aggravation.
Absolutely. But, you know, there are instances where people come to you and they made no arrangements, and you do handle probate if you have to, right?
We do. Yeah, we do handle probate matters. And, it's a shame when they come in because it could have been avoided.
Yeah.
And sometimes people have to go through probate for multiple reasons. Number one, they did no planning, and now all the assets are in their name at their death. Number two, they did a will plan, which is a plan that only helps you at death, so it does not help you, A, during your lifetime, and B, it doesn't help you avoid probate. And then the other thing is sometimes people will do a trust, but they don't fund their assets into the trust. They're still going to have to go through probate. So if you want to get it done right, you need to have a revocable living trust prepared and make sure it's funded and make sure it continues to stay funded.
That's right. Well, listen, guys, it's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the program, give him a call. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. That's 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Now, there's a couple more things involving... Hey, listen, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to indulge myself. I have an interest in the space program. There's a soundbite I wanted to play before the break, and I didn't have it queued up. And these astronauts, one of the male astronaut has, and he said something on the space station yesterday, on the eve of leaving the space station, that's really going to alienate him with the left. So these are the astronauts yesterday were being interviewed from the International Space Station before their return, and what the male astronaut said, these people on the left, listen.
We're all the product of our life experiences and this extended business trip of yours, so qualified. What is your life lesson or takeaway from these 9 months?
Listen to this.
To answer your question, I can tell you honestly, my feeling on all of this goes back to my faith. It's found in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He is working out His plan and His purposes for His glory throughout all of humanity, and how that plays into our lives is significant and important. And however that plays out, and I am content because I understand that. I understand that He's at work in all things. Some things are for the good. Go to Hebrews chapter 11. Some things look to us to be not good, but it's all working out for His good for those that will believe, and that's the answer. So.
All right, we got a space preacher there. So the astronaut, he didn't give some generic talk about God. He actually talked about his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He's quoting scripture. Let me tell you, the media, they already hate them because Elon's rescuing them. Biden left him up there. And now he's preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. He's quoting the Bible. There's going to be the coverage that I'm doing this is probably the most coverage you're going to see of this mission from space. That is an amazing thing to hear. And I don't know if I've ever heard an astronaut speak that way from space before. No, because usually these people that get into science are godless. And that's pretty amazing to hear. All right, now I do want to talk. There was an incredible interview that also got no press coverage. You know, media bias isn't just how they present stories, it's what stories they choose not to cover. And there was an incredible interview that I watched the entirety of, and I'm only going to play one clip of it, of Ted Cruz interviewing Elon Musk about his work at Doge. And Ted Cruz has a podcast, and he interviewed Elon Musk from the White House. And it was really amazing. And, you know, the one thing with Elon Musk that I would like them to do that I think would help a lot is if they had a weekly, a bi-weekly, even a monthly press conference where they went in and shared what they have discovered and what they've done. And I know Doge has a website, okay? And the website has everything that they uncover on it. And I went to the website yesterday because of what I'm telling you now, and it's just a collection of stuff. There's too much there, and it's very confusing, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's just too much. I'm not one of these geniuses on the Doge team, right? You know, these beautiful mind people. And Elon Musk dropped something to Ted Cruz, which is one of the biggest things that have come out of Doge's work. I mean, what USAID was huge, and there have been some big drops that have come out, the Social Security ages and all that. That was huge. But did you hear him talking about the magic money computers that they found? Did you hear this? This blew my mind. And this really, there's certain things that need extra special coverage. Like I was talking earlier that if Carolyn Levitt took some members of the media through the presidential auto pen process, right? The most powerful writing instrument ever created, the presidential auto pen, right? You can send men to war, you can bomb countries, you can write billions of dollars to people and nobody questions it with that presidential auto pen. Well, the government, Elon found a handful of what he calls these magic money machine computers. And what they do is insane. I'm going to play the clip of Elon talking about them, but this is what I mean. We need to have the press, led by Doge, go to these magic money computers and show people what it is that they're doing. And, you know, you look at, if you're on hold, stand by. I know I got a lot to get off my chest here, but there's been a lot of news. And after the bottom of the hour, we'll go to some calls, okay? We're up against the bottom of the hour, but I'm going to play this before the break. The financial corruption inside the government is larger than the human mind can even comprehend. And we were very focused on USAID, but these magic money computers that they have, this is where all the dirty work is done. Listen to this. This is on Ted Cruz's podcast yesterday. It was a fascinating interview. I watched the whole thing with Elon Musk, and this interview was done inside the White House. Listen to this. Okay, now one thing, too, to understand. Ted Cruz is a United States Senator, and he has been for a long time, and he didn't even know about this. Think about that, right? That's amazing.
Totally wrong, but they're probably off by 5% or 10% in cases. So
than like 11 of these computers in Treasury that are sending out trillions in payments?
They're mostly in Treasury. Some are, there's some at HHS, some at, there's one or two at state, there's some at DOD. I think we found out 14 magic money computers. 14, okay. They just send money out of
Okay, what that means is they have access to the U.S. Treasury and they just send money, and no one follows where the money goes. They go on in a lot of detail. If you watch that podcast episode with Ted Cruz, it's Ted Cruz's podcast. You guys can find it. Watch the whole interview. He gets into more detail. That like the $1.9 billion that went to Stacey Abrams, right? These magic money computers, 14 of them, they just send payments out to people. No one follows up. There's no audit. There's no accountability. They just send that money out. And whoever gets it, they get to keep it, and they never have to explain what they did with it. And they deposit it in bank accounts. And there's 14 of them. That's why they were fighting so hard to keep him out of the Treasury Department. That's where most of them are, but they're in other places too. And if Elon or somebody else would go with the media and show these magic money computers, like with that auto pen process, and show how they work and how they're sending money, this would be more real to people, as opposed to, you know, this talking point discussion that's going on with the pundits, or even you hear callers, okay? It's all like talking point talk. We need to actually see these things. We need to see the auto pen, and we need to see the magic money computers. People have to see it, and it has to be on TV for it to be real. You know, one thing over the years that I've had a lot of frustration with in this line of work is a lot of times I'll be ahead of the news by a couple weeks. Like if you remember, 2 weeks ago, I was telling you that Trump should cut off Pornhub. New York Post over the weekend had a story that he should cut off Pornhub because it's a Canadian company. It's one of the biggest Canadian companies. So a lot of times I'll have a story and I'll be a week, 2 weeks ahead of the story, sometimes longer, and it's not real to people until it's on television. And if people saw both the auto pen and these magic money computers, all 14 of them, or just one of them at least, and show how they work and how much money is sent to people with no accountability. And by the way, they don't even question why the money's being sent. There's just someone on the computer sending $1.9 billion with a B to Stacey Abrams and others. It's insane. But for it to be real, people got to see it. All right. Okay, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Today's show has flown by. I can't believe there's less than 30 minutes left. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. All right, we'll be back in 1 minute, guys. One minute, we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. I know I haven't been going to the phones, but, I got to get through some of these stories because they're huge. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi there. This is Diana from Brevard County.
Hey, Diana. What's up?
Hi. You were talking about Israel earlier.
Yep.
And also about how our schools do not teach anything these days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a few years older than you, just a few. And I remember how school used to be. My social studies teacher was a 4'4" Vietnam veteran that taught us about Moshe Dayan and how great Israel was, a tiny country pushing back everyone and, not being conquered.
Yeah.
He was an alcoholic that committed suicide.
Your teacher?
Yes, my teacher committed suicide.
Oh, my
because
goodness.
the things that he saw in Vietnam, he was a very kind person, and he could not get over it.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty sad. Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you. Hold on. Did I lose you there? Okay, I got you. That's a sad story.
I mean, like everybody, he was the greatest guy. And this was so many years ago, but I'll never forget him because of how he took. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
He took me. He knew that things were not right in my home, and he talked to me. He said, "Is there anything we can do as teachers?" And I said, "No, there's really not." But that's the kind of guy that he was.
Yeah.
But war broke him. And but he did teach us about Israel. But I also learned about it in my church. I was raised a Baptist, even though my parents were horrible.
Yeah.
I learned about Israel, and so they finally have the green light from Donald Trump to do whatever it is that they need to do.
Well, this is what's going on. Okay, I've talked a lot. There's this new wave of anti-Semitism in this country that is that I'm hearing from some MAGA conservatives, like millennials, and like Candace Owens, and the reason
Brian,
the reason,
Brian,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, go ahead.
I will say that the reason why that Trump actual numbers, voting numbers were down, it's because there is many quote unquote MAGAs that they hate Israel. And they have nowhere to go.
Well, what's happened is there's a lot of people, like Candace Owens is hardcore anti-Semite, but she's not alone. There's others, and what a lot of it is.
Tucker Carlson is right in there.
I've heard people say that, but the reason is I think they're brainwashed in our education system and our media. These millennials, and as woken up and red pilled as a lot of people are. On that one, their mind is just gone. And, I'll tell you this about Tucker Carlson. That, a couple weeks ago, you guys may remember, I went to a workshop with attorney Barry Siegel. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of people there. Everybody who came to that workshop, thank you so much. I was moved by the number of people that were there during the week, in the morning, in Boca, to talk about, estate planning law. It was amazing. But one lady came and she sat down next to me just to talk. She wanted to talk to me about the anti-Semitism of Tucker Carlson. I mean, there was a lot. She was so concerned about it. She came to talk to me about it, which I was really surprised. And
Yeah, I mean, if you will listen to Jewish circles, and I am 100% Gentile as they come, but I have always loved Jewish people. It was taught to me, okay? And then I researched my own because I do not accept anything that anybody tells me without researching it. And I always had Jewish friends growing up because their families, I had a bad family, and their families cared for me. So I've always had an extreme soft spot.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, these stories you're telling are awful about your upbringing and your teacher. But why are you so emotional about it today after so many years? Has something happened that's triggered you? Is there an anniversary, or is it just talking about it?
Well, yeah, something did trigger me.
What triggered you?
Well, first of all, I saw that Israel was doing the bombing, but also today I'm in my 50s, and do you really want to know something personal?
Yeah, why not? I mean, no. I mean, you're obviously.
It would make the show interesting.
Oh, you mean it's not interesting now? Oh my goodness, what have I been doing?
It's do you want to hear it?
Yeah, I do.
I'm in my 50s, and after 5 months, my quote-unquote boyfriend, he said he does not love me after 5 months.
Well, you got lucky. You're lucky. You're lucky. You could have married that guy. He did you a favor.
But no, you're right, because I married somebody that did not love me.
Yeah, you could have married that guy and been stuck with him.
Well, the pleasure would have been all mine, because he knows everything what to do. But, but then at least my consolation prize is that Israel was bombing them.
Oh, that made you feel better.
You know what?
Bombing made you feel better.
It made me feel much better. My boyfriend doesn't love me, but at least Israel is doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
And I do know that what is going to happen now, there is going to be horrible.
Well, let me ask you this. You're in your 50s. How old is this lowlife ex-boyfriend?
He's in his 50s.
Okay, now this is something I've learned, okay? Now, I've been married for a long, long time, but I do have friends.
God bless you. God bless you.
Yeah, well, I'm coming up on, I think this year is going to be my 29th anniversary will be this year in December. But what I have friends that are my age and older that aren't married, that are single. And what I've learned is that most people that are over the age of 40 and they're single, there's a good reason they're single. You know what I mean? There's a lot of dysfunction with people that are single that are over 40.
Brian, can I just say that at this point in which, since my upbringing, I was always trying to get my mother to love me. Okay? I had to really work for that love hard. So I'm always working for love to see if I am worthy of someone.
Were you supporting your boyfriend? Was he living with you?
No.
No?
No, he works. He's actually an immigrant.
So, really? Is he legal or illegal?
Yes,
is he illegal?
100%, he's 100% legal.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you could call Tom Homan's snitch line and really get the revenge.
Yeah, I know, but so I get it. But no, and he works 2 jobs.
Yeah. So what happened? When
we go out, he pays.
But you said he didn't love you. That doesn't sound like a very guyish thing to say. So what happened? Did he just said I don't love you and we're breaking up? What happened?
I know it's getting there.
Oh, you haven't broken up yet?
Feelings for you.
You haven't broken.
We kind of have, because I said, how can I love myself?
Mm-hmm.
I said, if I will stay with you, I'm not loving myself.
Yeah.
Because you don't love me. And honestly, what is not to love?
Yeah.
And
where's he an immigrant from? What's his nation of origin?
Jamaica.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm an equal opportunity employer.
You're white?
And yes.
Okay. Why do you say employer? Why do you refer to yourself as an employer of your boyfriend?
It's just a funny joke.
Okay. All right. Well,
Because
listen,
I
I
know
got
there's
to
a
run. I got to run, but you know, he did you a favor. You could have married that guy and been locked in with him for the rest of your life. Now he's gone.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Yeah.
And plus, women are in all the power position. You know, no matter, you know, I don't know anything about you, but no matter what a woman looks like,
can
you
I
can
just
find
say
men.
One thing? Can
Yeah.
I just say one thing? He's
Yeah.
5'4" tall.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I'm not really sure how it's going to go for him.
Okay, that's because he's getting nasty now because they broke up. She loved him. Now she hates him. All right, I appreciate the call. You know, appreciate the call. What I was going to tell her was women are in the power control position always in relationships. A woman, no matter what she looks like, can find another man in 5 seconds, okay? So, all right. All right, now listen. If you're on hold, hang in there. The show kind of turned into Dr. Laura, a little bit of therapy, but that's okay. We'll be right back. Hey there, I'm going to put you on hold. Stand by. Okay. Elon's a U.S. citizen. You can't deport Elon. Just over a minute. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name's Brian Craig, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking this Tuesday?
The metals are looking amazing, Brian. We are well above the $3,000 number for gold now. And yesterday we saw it close up $16.30 at $3,000.80 the ounce. Silver was up 5 cents at $33.81 the ounce. Platinum was up $6 at $1,000, and palladium closed at $9.53. Overnight, we saw gold just skyrocket some more, going up to $3,033 right now. That's up $32.20 the ounce. Silver up 42 cents at $34.25. Platinum up $3 at $1,003. And palladium up $6 at $9.59. So that $3,000 is well established now. It may become our base, even if we can close above that $3,000 for a couple more days.
Wow!
And we're getting closer to my prediction of $3,200 to $3,400 gold this year. So we'll see how we do.
Well, when people are coming in now at these record highs that are just beyond my imagination. When it comes to gold, what are they looking to pick up right now? I know everything's available in stock for immediate delivery, but is there any particular kind of coins that people are really trying to grab up right now?
The American Eagles, of course, the kangaroos are very popular because they're pure gold. They're beautifully encapsulated, and they're very low premiums. So that's one of the number one coins we sell.
Yeah.
But they're buying just about everything and anything.
Yeah, and it's also, if you have anything made of the metals, this sounds like a great time to turn it into money. into cash, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People are absolutely amazed when we tell them for a little ring how much they're getting it, or things that were just laying in their jewelry boxes not being worn anymore. And they look at me like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I know. They're thanking you. They're like amazed. So, and by the way, that's old jewelry that's broken. It's old and out of style and ugly. If it's made of the metals, it is it's big time money now with gold over $3,000 an ounce. I can't even believe that. It's hard to even say. William Youngman, it's crazy. It's crazy, and you predicted this quite some time ago. William Youngman is located in Boca, and he opens up at 10 a.m. You can do all your transactions over the phone, but if you can, stop in, because it literally is a museum over at William Youngman's. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can call him on the phone, toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010, and find both his phone number and address on his website, williamyoungerman.com. williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day. Thank you.
All right, take care. All right back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Brian, how are you today?
All right.
You know, Brian, we're living in such fascinating times. Like, speaking for myself, but the three things that I find the most fascinating, and it's on a daily basis, it's the Donald Trump presidency, his second term in, and the MAGA movement. It's SpaceX, an incredible space program, and the idea of going to Mars is just, it just blows your imagination. And the third are the rapidly unfolding biblical prophetic events that are occurring, especially in the Mideast. If you follow these events, they're so totally consuming and they're so fascinating to watch. There's no boring days anymore.
And, you know, these terrible things, though, that are going on, the stranded astronauts and the war in Ukraine and Israel, that would still be going on with the Democrats. But the reason we're excited is because there's a positive outcome to all of them. Russia and Ukraine, Israel, and the space disaster.
Well, you know, how big was the election that we just had, the MAGA election with Donald Trump in there? Because if we didn't have in here, I don't think we would have a positive outcome into anything. It'd be a disaster. But watching him as he's working politically, watching the space program progress, and Donald Trump and Elon Musk working together in tandem, but the prophetic events too are kind of overlay everything. There's never a down day, no. There's never a boring day news-wise.
You know, and America is so number one. You know, the SpaceX launch that to rescue the astronauts had 4 astronauts on it, right? The 2 women, the commander, and the pilot. But the 2 specialists that are on the space station, one of them is from Japan, the other one Russian. You know, and the Japanese and the Russians have to hitch rides with us to get into space now.
Yes.
And that's because we're number one. We're the best. You know, and that's American pride and American excellence and everything else, and it's a wonderful thing. Hey,
SpaceX kind of encapsulates how far ahead we are technologically from a technical standpoint.
Yeah,
that kind of encompasses everything. You know,
that's right.
But with those 3 things, every day is a fascinating day.
It sure is. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Great call. We've had some very good calls today, I must say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And then this. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, all right. Once, twice. All right, that's it for you. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, good morning. My name is Jerry from Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Hey, what's up?
And we've spoken one time before. I don't know if you remember, but anyway, you're harder to get than my wife's boyfriend, so I'm happy to get on the air.
Your wife's cheating on you? Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. I just wanted to see if she's got a boyfriend that I can run after.
Okay. What's on your mind? You got me.
Anyway, Brian, I just emailed you because I couldn't get on the phone, but now that I got you, I just wanted to tell you, I was surfing my TV the other day, and Prime has put on The Apprentice from 2006.
Yeah, season 1.
I had never watched it. What's that?
It's season 1 of The Apprentice.
Yes. And I started watching it because I had never watched it before. And I got so enthralled with it that I binge watched it.
Oh, it's
I
good.
watched it all night long. I mean, I couldn't believe what was going on with these people that he brought in. If you ever watched it, it was incredible.
Yeah, it's the
Now
season.
I
It's the
know
season
why
with Omarosa. It's very good.
Yes. But the thing is, I sat there. I'm 77. I've been very, very successful in business. I can relate with him. I wish I would have watched this back in those days when I was a younger man, because knowing Trump the way he was, that's exactly the way I ran my businesses. But I took care of my people. I made sure that they were millionaires. Not that I'm a millionaire, but I made sure that they were happy in my business.
Well, you know
I
that
didn't want them
The Apprentice. Okay, what he's talking. The Apprentice season 1. Jeff Bezos put it on Amazon Prime. It's very good. I started. I haven't been able to. I've only seen the first episode. I watched it originally, but I've only seen the first episode since they put it up there. But I am going to watch the whole season again. And you know that show was made around President Trump because before he got into politics, he was viewed as the textbook definition of the American dream, of the successful American businessman. And they built this show around him because, like, he's Mr. Monopoly. And everyone had respect for him. And later on, that show became The Celebrity Apprentice with a lot of celebrities on it. And now all of a sudden he's Hitler? Come on, give me a break.
I don't understand that. I can't understand why these people, these Hollywood, whatever you want to call them, are so against him that I can't believe they moved out of the country. I don't even believe that. I think they always had those.
No, two have. Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen DeGeneres left the country. They actually did.
Good for them.
Yeah.
And the other guy, Gere, the actor Gere, he also
Richard Gere?
went to Spain.
Richard Gere?
Yes, Richard Gere. He went to live in Spain.
No,
but,
is he still an actor?
Understand.
Former actor.
I don't know. I don't care.
He's
if
a
he
former
acts or not,
actor.
Just like De Niro. De Niro, I'll never watch one of his movies again. He's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. He just put out a movie that he I don't know if he's the president, and it's all about what's going on right now with
De Niro has a TV series where he plays a former president on Netflix. And after he went out and told more than half the country that we're terrible people supporting Hitler, I imagine the ratings are low. Listen, I got to run, but it's good to hear from you, Jerry from Pompano.
Thank you, my friend. God bless you and have a great day.
All right, take care. I got to tell you, we've had great calls on the program today, I must say. Now, I want to tell you guys, if you'd like to support this program, many ways to do that. And one great way is to use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, at MyPillow.com. There's huge savings, free shipping offers still in effect too at MyPillow.com with our promo code KANE. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets are $40 off all sizes. It's an incredible deal with our promo code KANE at checkout. Even the flannels. I've got the flannels. They'll keep you so warm and toasty during this cold time we have right now in sunny South Florida. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. Save up to 80% off. And also other deals there as well. All right, guys, listen. Great calls today. We'll be back tomorrow. The SpaceX splashdown is between 5 and 6 p.m. East Coast Mar-a-Lago time today, so keep an eye out for that. I don't know if it'll be on TV, but you can find it online. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take care. All right, and we are out. Well, listen, guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, all right? And if you're already subscribed, do me a favor, like and share the video. I'll have a new podcast later today, so keep an eye out for that. I feel bad for that lady who lost her man. She seemed to be very upset. Oh, thank you, Pineapple, for that. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, the calls were spectacular today, for the most part. There were a couple of duds, but there were some really good calls on the program, including those of you that don't like Trump that called in. You gave me an opportunity to shoot down those pathetic MSNBC talking points. So that's greatly appreciated. All right, guys. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching.